World Bank, and the entire World Bank team accompanying and supporting him at this auspicious occasion. I wish that I could address every other minister by name, but very distinguished ministers of finance, ministers of education gathered here, and representatives of ministers, vice chancellors, researchers, heads of institutions, heads of regulatory authorities, or I should simply say, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me, on my own behalf, I see Robert from our country office of the World Bank. Mr. President, we are honored to have several African ministers of state gathered here at this ACE conference. Mr. President, one of my first discomfort is ACE. When they say ACE, African Center of Excellence, but the first bell that rings my mind is the other ACE of a disease ACE. So probably into the next decade or foreseeable future, the emphasis should be on higher education center for excellence to distinguish our ACE from the disease ACE. The President. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic, you have missed a very important segment, understandably, because of your tight role this morning to see the change of flag at the office of the President. But our keynote speaker was one of our own proud Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, who made us proud to share Ghana's exploits and Ghana's benefits. She also shared some of the challenges, more financing from government and political will. The man who holds the political will of our republic is the President of the Republic. So I'm conveying to you politely, Professor Nana Bamfom, that the President is all ears. He's already given you the assurance and the assurance of many heads of our institutions that he has no intention to interfere with the academic freedom of our universities and will work to enhance the academic freedom of our universities. And to Mr. Ousmane Diagana, so Mr. President, it's my honor and privilege to welcome you to the 10th anniversary of the ACE celebration. We are proudly honored with your presence. We know with some passion and determination, you are striving to reset Ghana and reset its education space. And to Mr. Ousmane Diagana of the World Bank, a warm welcome and akwaba to you, karibu to you to Accra. Enjoy the Ghanaian hospitality of Accra. If you do have time with some of our distinguished delegates, it will be worth visiting Kwame Nkrumah Museum so that you would appreciate our culture, our cuisines, and others better. To our Honorable Minister from Malawi, even though the President didn't have the full benefit of your presentation, he had instructed me that you should be given 1 minute each to wrap up so that he could pick some guide. But Anita, thank you for being a firm master of ceremony. You have assured us of the Afro-optimism as one of the benefits of ACE. So, Mr. President, my task today is a very simple one. It's to welcome you and other distinguished delegation to the African Center for Excellence 10 years anniversary. 10 years of monumental contribution to higher education and to research. And Mr. President, having listened to the panelists, my charge on your behalf to Ghanaian universities and researchers is that in the next 4 years to a decade, President Mahama would want to see Ghanaian University do something with traditional medicine as your contribution to the development of health and medicine in Ghana, and taking advantage of what we heard from the example in Uganda of what they've done with traditional medicine with support. And whilst welcoming the Vice President of the World Bank, like Oliver Twist, Mr. President wants to see infrastructure development, even though he's guided by what is now called a Trumpism. He knows that he has to look within Ghana to rule and govern in good governance, to make our country self-dependable and self-sufficient. But we still, Mr. Vice President, whilst the President is here, the President in the next fortnight will be launching a major sanitary pass initiative to support young girls who suffer absenteeism as a result of their inability and their parents to afford it. Some support from your fund to support this initiative will be worth acknowledging. So as I said, is to say a warm welcome to you all and to encourage that we narrow ourselves probably, whilst I say welcome, that probably we should look at a new center of excellence that focuses on foundational learning in Africa. So the next ACE intervention can look at the remit of foundational learning. There are still some national poverties around Africa, and particularly in Ghana, in terms of some inadequacies with literacy and numeracy, and some research in that area will be worth looking at. And one of the major things dear to the heart of our President Mahama, is youth empowerment and youth development. So maybe ACE and the World Bank can look into an Africa Center of Excellence in youth empowerment and youth development to support addressing growing unemployment, including graduate unemployment. On the note of welcoming you, let me assure you of President Mahama's committed to higher education and research. This year, for the first time, he would operationalize the operation of a national research fund, to which he has dedicated some $5 million for its start. And then I also heard about domestic scholarships. The President has further directed that every public university in Ghana this year will have dedicated funding from the Ghana Education Trust Fund to support 5 PhDs locally in order to build faculties. On that note, Mr. President, I say a warm welcome, and to Osmanu and our distinguished delegation, our respected ministers for finance and education from the ACE benefiting countries, Akwaba and Marhaba to Accra. I thank you.
Please subscribe to Morris TVG.